finish signing. Did we sign and seal the minutes last, non-public minutes from,
I think we did.
well, no, from March 2nd?
I almost missed it too.
Okay, yep.
Did I miss one?
No, I did.
I wanna say we did March 2nd. No,
No,
no, we
didn't.
couldn't have.
No, cause we haven't met since then. Oh,
It was March 2nd.
it was the, yeah.
Captain?
personnel-
then you guys did.
personnel issues. Did we sign them when we did the interview? I'll ask Carrie when she gets back.
Oh, no, you did not sign them with the interview, I don't think.
I don't remember signing them.
It was almost like code.
Carrie, did we, sign and seal the non-public minutes from March 2nd meeting?
I have two downstairs, let me go grab them. They're probably not if it's on there.
I don't think we did right afterwards.
I don't think so. No. We'll give Jack a few minutes to read the minutes.
I gotta start delivering them too.
Yeah.
That would move the process.
It would.
They normally have that on.
Well, I think it's his phone too.
Try to move your lips a little faster than that, Jack.
Is that for each person? Or-
No, there's two separate minutes in there.
Gotcha.
Do you wanna review these while I review these?
Nobody wants to do it.
Alan, can you shut the door, please? Closer's easier than getting out of them, right?
Yes. Maybe. We'll hold that one down.
Well, whoever saw a door that you push with hands on it.
Boy, there was a lot
Are you
said.
signing in here and?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting of March 2nd.
I'll second. Discussion?
Have we received anything from Martha on RSA at all? No?
Negative.
No.
And we received nothing stating that all the meetings will be at the town hall?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I'm good.
no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? These are the other. Any abstentions? I make a motion to seal the non-public minutes from March 2nd.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? The others were a different date. What was the date on the,
The second and the 16th.
I make a motion that we seal the non-public minutes from March 16th.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, staff updates.
Captain status. Acting Captain Smart right now sitting next to me. I did his first monthly evaluation, and he definitely has exceeded and will exceed standards going forward. Accreditation, part of his position obviously is accreditation. He's doing a great job. Training is another aspect, and internal affairs. Training, and I think I mentioned it at the last meeting, that we're looking at a different site for training based on the mandates from the governor's orders. And Brandon was able to find Lexipol,
Police one, yeah.
Police One Lexipol, which it costs $1,400, and which
One time.
it's one time, but there's a yearly.
So I believe it was 1,400, and that included creating everybody sworn and non-sworn accounts. So, I believe it was 300 or something like that.
A year afterwards. So the benefit is, right up front, it's gonna cost us a lot of money. However, there's over 400 and something trainings that we can take, and they're all virtual trainings. But the main reason is it's taken the governor's orders where this is the training that we have to have. And each year it's gonna be going up in the hours that we need to prove to police standards and training that we're doing this. So in actuality, what we're gonna be saving is gas and travel time and overtime, because these things, this training can be done on shift, or your day off, I can pay overtime for a day off, or on shift, where they can do it at home, they can do it here. And it's something that they don't have, if it's a 4-hour class, they don't have to do 4 straight hours. They can stop where they are, and they get back to it. So I think it's gonna be beneficial, especially with officers having to go up to Concord. So, he did a great job right off the bat. He looked into it, he got it approved through police standards and training, and they accept this, certain vendor, and they're starting to accept more vendors. He also did his research regarding other departments that use it, and it's beneficial for them, so we thought it was good.
So as part of that program too, there is actually a built-in grant finder. So that came at no charge with the installation, so it's like, it's like thousands of grants, like, you select like what specifically you're looking for, and then it filters it through, and they send us like a list of any grants that we'd be interested in, or that are out there and offered, so really kind of opens it up.
So it's a one-time fee of $1,400 and then $300.
Correct, and then there's just the initial
We used to call
annual
those
fee.
cat training, computer aid training, I
Yeah.
used to hate them.
Yeah,
But
but
now it's like,
yeah, they're pretty good
looking
now.
back, they're really good.
Yeah, they have videos, and there's a lot of other good things that we're gonna be able to look at, especially trainings for firearms, where our firearms instructors can look at certain different trainings and incorporate that into the annual trainings that we have here, so I think it's gonna be beneficial. So Brandon's doing a great job.
In other words.
But we do have the money in the training budget for it, so that's
For
why,
that, okay.
that's why I'm not really concerned about it.
Yeah, we'll be saving a lot of, money overall with gas. part-time admin?
So I know we discussed it before, keeping Carrie on part-time. I do have a pay rate change form for her, where this was an issue before. So she would be going down to the rate of $25 an hour, just like any part-timer here. I think it is gonna be beneficial having her part-time. She can continue to help with accreditation and obviously help Taylor as she's getting her feet wet with the new position. Carrie's gonna be a good resource and beneficial for us. Especially, I think we can use her in the aspect of anytime Taylor, even though they're friends and they probably go on trips together, there's anytime Taylor's gone that we could probably still carry the fill in if needed on certain days.
How much free time are you gonna have?
Well, I mean, it's the regular hours, but I'm salaried, so, I can kind of adjust my hours or work remotely.
Be flexible.
That's,
By the way, welcome.
thank you, thank you very much.
And your last day?
Friday.
This Friday.
And Taylor is doing awesome. She's picked up things very quickly and asking all the same questions I asked, and so everything is
I expect
going really good.
Well, you guys did hire her, so.
New police officer status.
So right now, we have only five applicants, one certified police officer. I'm anticipating getting another application either today or tomorrow,
What's the closeout?
the 16th. So we know too, as well as people get their stuff in last minute. The word's out that we are hiring. It's just depends on if people want to make the change for certified officers, but it's tough to bite the bullet of spending $500 in a newspaper article for positions where you're looking at the younger generation. They do not read newspapers,
No, they don't.
and it's all on social media, so.
Not even electronically.
Yeah, so we tried a different tactic this time, and we're gonna monitor to see how these people heard about us. And take it from there, and
What commercially available tools do you use? Is it like LinkedIn or anything like that?
no, we didn't hit the big ones, because last time we did, it wasn't LinkedIn, last time we did Indeed, we were getting people from all over the country, and I wanna say we had over 100 applicants. But the reason, and these people weren't even meeting the qualifications for what we put on the page. I think, what I was told is people just, if people are unemployed and they have, in order to collect unemployment, they have to show that they applied to other places, and I was just getting that, and I did not wanna deal with that, so. Since I've been here, pretty much the applicant process is, we get between 20 and 25 applicants. But reaching out to agencies now is, nobody's getting any applicants, and they're actually going off old like the previous year's lists, and calling people back up to get them, so, it's tough.
With good reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of legislation out there, federally and statewide, that they're looking at certain things regarding police departments, and qualified immunity is one of them that people are paying attention to.
Well, police officers looking for a new job too. Minneapolis and different places like that. Seriously, I mean, this would be a great place for an experienced cop to come work.
It is, experience does help us out. You do have the pros and cons with the experience and a new person. We've had really good luck with the new people that we've pulled in the training, and so we'll see what happens in the 16th. We use Great Bay testing, and they don't have a test until May. The academy isn't until the end of August, but we have to have paperwork for the person at the beginning of August.
And you don't wanna wait.
Correct.
You wanna do that as soon as you can, because we don't wanna be stuck with the way that we were last time. Having to put somebody on for how long before.
Yeah.
Or have them wait.
Yeah, it's tough.
Anything else on personnel?
No, I think everybody's doing a good job, so, no issues right now.
Review expenditures,
So just a couple of things, just to keep you guys aware of, is we did order the new cruiser. I think I talked about that at the last meeting. We had to purchase a new radar for the cruiser. It was definitely outdated in 2A. They said it wasn't even worth sending out the fix. I know how that is. So, $2,700?
Yes, Evo.
Yeah, so, again, we have the money and equipment purchases for that. I did order a new computer and some equipment for the J1, which I put in for, out of the capital reserve account. Each year I put money into it, and I've been building it up. So this is the first time I'm using that. It's about $6,000 for almost a total package, just to start, get running to see how that's gonna work out. I do have paperwork to do a grant, to start the grant with the state, which will give us 5 printers and additional pieces of equipment to meet the standards and connectability with our mobile units. So I just gotta fill that out and get that over to the state. And that will save us probably about $8,000 if I can get that grant.
How much is in the equipment line for the radar?
So we're putting it in under general equipment or
Equipment purchases, so
equipment purchases.
12,400.
And that equipment purchases includes, we're looking at 2 or 3 new portable radios that we have to get to start updating that, which obviously falls in the budget limit, so we'll be fine with that.
we need to make sure this year we do I think it's a warrant article that we have to do so that the money from the details can be put in a revolving account.
Revolving account.
Yeah, do the research to figure out what we have to do to get that. I had the RSA, I don't have it right off the top of my head, but there is an RSA that covers that.
Yeah, I have it saved. I think primarily it's gotta be voted in by the town,
Right,
so, I'll look into that.
I don't wanna drop that, so that we can put that into, and it can be worded for, cruiser purchase. Anything else on the expenditures?
No, those are really the big things that I wanted to make the commission aware of.
Accreditation updates.
I can let Brandon and Kerry talk about it, but I will say I'm glad I'm not hearing certain words of where we are. But I have a visual now and keeping track of it, so, go ahead.
Yeah, so we, highlight wise, all the highlights are done for all the chapters, and we have 8 chapters left, proof wise. And then we should be pretty much ready to go for May.
Yeah, so in our final step of our accreditation, we wanted to start it April 1st. We were actually able to start it in March. So we're more than halfway through our final step. So we were much further ahead. I'm gonna be in contact with the NEPAC board president to schedule our mock assessment, which we want at the end of April, but the assessor can't do it then. So we're gonna ask for early May. So I'll be talking with him later this week to have a meeting planned with him to talk to him about getting that scheduled, getting our remote onsite scheduled, and then talking about the process between remote onsite and, the remote assessment and then the remote onsite and all, so there's 3 more steps we have to go through after Brandon and I are finished doing the accreditation. And this should all happen before July 16th.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job, and it's good to see the work being done, that I accepted was being done, but was not, so, enough said.
All right. SWOT survey.
All right, the SWOT survey. I'm gonna put it on the big board for you.
My head's in the way, just tell me.
It's not in the way.
You can just click out of them. Sorry, my mouse disappeared. I got this, I promise. I screwed it, I believe that's it. It's fine. Oh, was I that way?
Oh, there it is.
No, it's that way.
Is this going for a week?
I've noticed it's been her strength.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Just click.
Just click. Got it.
All right, so what I did was, obviously broke it down to most of the things that the officers discussed and, or thought were the strengths of the department: officers' impact, salaries and benefits, supervision, motivated, proactive officers, trainings, works well together, young department. So, a lot of it was,
Where'd you get your survey? Where'd you get your survey? Which of the survey that farmers looked at into? Is this something that,
the SWAT training, it's just, I guess, something that's been instilled with me from Durham that we did on a yearly basis. So, what I found interesting is we are a young department, and the officers are motivated, and they really enjoy working with each other. And as we go down the different categories of the strengths, weaknesses, you're gonna see some of the things overlap, which is understandable, especially based on experience and knowledge. So, but I was impressed with works well together, because what that's telling me is we do not have a morale issue. The officers like coming to work, they're satisfied with their benefits, they're satisfied with what's going on. And we do have an open line of communication. Next slide, please. Okay, our weaknesses, and if you guys can't see it, I guess I can read them out to you.
so, back to strengths though, on compensation line,
Yeah.
a couple of folks felt that was a strength.
Correct.
Were they in the same category that they in, or was?
No, they were actually in different categories, different levels from, I think this one was from a couple of years to 7 or 8 years, I'm not sure what he has here, but 7 or 8 years, so. So weaknesses, following through with tasks, consistency, always doing someone else's work, too many emails, which I don't get that one, because communication is a big thing, and I laugh about that. Leadership and structure. Now, I definitely paid attention to this, because that's a high number, right? 5 people commented on that. There was, so I talked to Brandon in person regarding this, and I think it's prior administration. Let's say certain things weren't getting done in the leadership structure, and which really started affecting doing somebody else's work, consistency, and following through with tasks. That has changed significantly within the last couple of months. I don't think I need to explain further regarding it, but the officers are seeing things being done and things not being pawned off on them as of the past.
So you sent out a survey,
So-
folks filled it out,
Yep.
do you actually meet with people in person?
So what we did is I had them send these to me individually, and then in the department training, we talked about each and every one of these. And I didn't put anybody on the spot unless they wanted to talk about it. And some officers did talk about, their thoughts on why they ranked certain things. But I explained some of the things of why we do what we're doing. And again, the leadership and structure, it hit me hard, but a lot of it came down to accreditation because a lot of changes. And I think policy is gonna be coming up with one of them. It's because it's tough when you're trying to cram accreditation down people's throats and new policies and procedures. They can't follow it. It's tough and it's frustrating. My goal when I first got here was to do a little bit at a time, a teaspoon opposed to a tablespoon, right? And that just wasn't being done, and this that primarily reflects in the SWAT training. And weaknesses not getting training, I really don't understand that one, because we are very open to outside training with different vendors.
I think I know what it has to
Okay,
do with.
I do know what it is.
Okay.
I do, I picked up on it. So we do have a training committee here where it's the captain, it's a supervisor, and an officer that review training requests from the officers. And the availability, if we have the availability, or if it's something that's gonna benefit the town for training, we'll try to get the officers to it. And that wasn't being followed through. Now it's being followed through. We were able to go back 6 months and pull their training requests, and we were able to fulfill most of them, 3 or 4 of it.
Was that because of COVID or just?
The ball dropped, and we made corrections. Next. Opportunities, obviously, you're gonna see training, career advancements, new responsibilities, and advancement opportunities. Obviously, my philosophy here is that everybody's voices should be heard on how we're gonna make this department better and what we need to do, and the officers are buying into it, and they think they feel their voices can be heard, so. And I think there are opportunities with advancement as the officers stay here longer with longevity. We're gonna be able to have master patrol officers, which is almost a supervisory role when a supervisor's not here. Again, my goal in the future is I would like to have 2 sergeants in patrol. It's just is beneficial for you have that years of knowledge and experience that can benefit these younger officers, so. Here's the threats. Oh, threats. Communication, which I think was the email. I feel, and we had the discussion in the departmental meeting regarding communication, and I don't know where that came from, but I can only suspect. Social media, policy changes, staff changes, hiring young officers, town change benefits, commissioners not supporting us, short staff, national perception of police officers. I don't have much control over the national perception. All I can do is best practices and policies based on accreditation in dealing what we need to do. The commission not supporting was obviously a concern of mine. They see support, however, the last few months, watching the police commission, the last meeting, the officers were reviewing that, and the town meeting, they feel there's not a lot of support in some aspects, so, and I'm gonna go off of this bike lane, the safety lane, and I'm kinda gonna throw you under the bus a little bit, Bill, is that at the town meeting, their perception was that you didn't stick up for the department when we were talking about speed limits and everything the officers are doing on Nimble Hill Road to combat that. A short staff, obviously, we have a vacant spot. We're filling that with overtime right now, but hopefully that's resolved within the next few months.
with overtime, do we have any part-timers that can fill any of those, or is it strictly overtime?
We go through the full-time officers first, we're picking and choosing, but we will put in the part-timers to supplement. Right now, I will tell you, we're swamped with the vaccination center for overtime,
How many officers are at the vaccination center?
just one at a time, and it's 13-hour shifts?
Well, yeah, 7:30 in the morning to either 8 or 8:30 at night, so.
Wow.
Yeah, Doug did a 13-hour one.
Yeah, so we're filling in where we can, and the officers have picked it up. They're doing a good job at that, but again, we're at the beginning stages regarding that. The town change of benefits, they are concerned about that, and this goes back into the insurance that not this year's budget, but last year's budget, where the town was looking at playing around with the benefits. They're nervous about that. I obviously told them that they would be involved in the process once it comes up, but I think there's a lot of other factors pertaining to the union and the fire department before what the town can do and decide to do something. But that's it. I think that's it, right? Yes.
All right, any other comments? Office furniture proposal.
So Kerry can attest to this, and I think Taylor is figuring it out real quick, is that the front office equipment needs to be updated for the executive administrative assistant. Right now, you pull certain drawers out and they fall down to the ground, or you can only pull them out a certain length. And then you have to, I think, stand up and hold one up, so.
Or they just come out when you're just sitting there doing
Yes.
nothing and you, that's happening.
So they proposed to me, and I think it's pretty good regarding computer desk set, shelf standard bookcase, and filing cabinet. It comes to $919.
I think it was 1,500. Yeah,
I'm sorry?
I think it was 1,500. Just that one piece was.
Oh, okay.
That'd be nice.
That was a
Steel
bargain.
bid, everything's expensive.
Well, I don't have the final number. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Okay, so total about 1,500. I think we need to do it enough with the hand-me-downs, because I know that has been here, that equipment has been here since the building was built. And we have to start updating the equipment, and we still have East Kingston that we reached out to, but it's hit or miss whether we're gonna get furniture from companies down in Boston at this point. I think companies are gonna start coming back, and this is an opportunity, and they found a good price for it, so. It's my recommendation, based on the information they provided and what they like, so,
What line would you take it out of?
equipment purchases.
We don't need to vote on that, do we? I think you can.
I don't think you,
Updated commissioner oath?
So in the book, I was looking at the oaths and one of them,
It's from 2019.
I wanted you guys to let me know if these are, cause it says like there's expiration dates on it and it looks like some of the expiration dates have passed. So I don't know if we have to have new ones or, but I think we should take a look at those. You guys might be able to understand the verbiage better than I, but.
are those from the town?
Oath of office from the town?
Yeah, so it says this one for, who is this one for? No, we did that one, I think.
Every
So for
time,
yours, it
every
was-
time you're elected, you need to
Expires
Yeah.
2020.
initiate a new one.
Yeah. the
But not
town
here,
should
right?
have-
It's
No,
over
they
at
do
the
it-
This
town
one's
hall.
2022.
Yeah,
Or
the town
does it-
should have it more.
So did you do one at the town hall?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool, okay,
Okay.
alright, so then we'll just ask her for all the updated.
Yeah, she should have all the updated ones.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Nimbin Hill Road Safety.
Yeah, that was I proposed that. I I'm trying to sort out where that perception comes from with the, commissioner support thing, if it's directed at me, but, first of all, you didn't get an opportunity to speak in the meeting, and I'm sure you probably would have liked to have had an opportunity, so, I'd first like to hear what your thoughts were coming out of that. We heard people who were against the safety lane, not based on the grounds of whether it's a safety issue or not, but they were against it, but were in favor of better law enforcement, speed control, things like that nature. There were clearly people who testified who said that, they do feel the road's unsafe. And separate of the safety lane issue altogether, there's a lot of people in town who feel Nimble Hill is unsafe. So, we're the police commission and police department, that's our mission, is, our customer is the tax-paying citizen, and there's a lot of people who are concerned about it. So, first of all, I wanted to hear what your thoughts were on it, because I kind of have some follow-up thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I understand Nimble Hill is a concern. Just like every road in the village is a concern, because we get calls all the time. Little Bay, Fox Point, Nimble Hill, Newington, and Newington Road. We also gotta remember, I understand that the constituents, that we're talking about the taxpayers here. I have to deal with the taxpayers on the other side of town too, that are complaining about traffic. They're dealing with thefts at their buildings, they're dealing with safety things over there, and they wanna see officers over there as well. So, we do what we can with our resources. I put out directed patrols, the officers are doing directed patrols, we have the documentation that they're out on Nimble Hill Road, whether they're seen all the time. If they're not seen on Nimble Hill Road, then they're on Fox Point. If they're not seen on Fox Point, they're on Little Bay. I have limited resources, and answering calls takes precedent. And we have to answer the calls over on the other side of the highway as well. So we're doing the best we can. During the town meeting, I was a little upset regarding certain things, and yes, I was pretty surprised that I wasn't called up to speak or asked regarding the statistics. Evidently, the Safety Lane Committee did a traffic study. I don't know where they got those numbers. I don't know who pulled them, or they were numbers that I provided. But the Traffic Lane Committee said that we, as the Safety Lane Committee, did the study. In looking at the RSAs regarding speed, there's always a misconception, and we understand the speed limit. My officers aren't gonna be writing people for going 1 to 2 miles per hour over the speed limit. I'm not gonna bring that to a court, because it's not an unreasonable speed for the road conditions. But we're monitoring it. I think I put out, I forget how many traffic, so I don't have the monthly stats, but I put it in the e-newsletter this week of how many traffic stops we've done and how many summonses we've given. 500 stops this month with 100.
No, not this one, but,
Yeah, we're in April, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, in March. So we have the numbers that we're out there in town doing these things. I don't know what else to say or what else I can do. If the town wants more patrol in the village, I can hire another officer, and that officer will specifically be for the village and not answering calls on the other side of the highway. But if there's an arrest over at the mall or any of the shops over there, we're talking a couple of hours where the officer is off the road. And a couple of hours it seems to me that it's always, I shouldn't say always, but it's within the time frame of commuter traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always between 5 and 9.
I've seen you your patrolman many times run radar, cause I walk a lot on these roads, and I understand if people don't feel safe. But pedestrians on a roadway have a legal obligation to yield to vehicles on the roadway. And I got the gist of what people want to do that were for the safety lane is they want to be able to walk on the roadway without having to step off onto the shoulder. Well, the law requires them to step off of the shoulder and yield to traffic. That's what the law requires, and that's what people should be doing. I've seen people walking with dark clothes on that you can hardly see them. I've seen people who are walking double-breasted and do not get over. So I understand people don't feel safe, then unfortunately, there are other places that people can walk in the town if they don't feel safe walking on. It's not just Nimble Hill Road, it's Little Bay Road. I mean, I almost got hit on Little Bay Road at night with my flashing lights on. You know, so it's not just, pedestrians have a responsibility as well as motorists, and I think you guys have done a good job. And it really disturbs me that the police officers feel that we don't support them, because we certainly do. And I believe in safety. I walk with fluorescent colors. When I see cars coming, I get off on the side of the road, and I think we can't expect to expand the size of the road to make it safer, because I'm not sure that would make it safer.
And I think one of the other things, Bill, that frustrated me at the town meeting is that the safety lane committee doesn't think it's Newington residents that's speeding here in town. I haven't looked at it yet, but I know at one time there were two officers doing traffic on Newington Road. And I think the majority of the people they stopped were residents in town. And, cause I kind of follow that when they're doing a directed patrol, I kind of follow, okay, what are we looking at? What are we looking at for speeds, warnings, and summonses? And the frustration from the officers is, it's not just people from out of town, it's the residents. And I will say, the traffic through town hasn't been as busy as it was when the Spalding was closed down.
No, it hasn't.
And I can definitely pull that information regarding how many residents we stopped. But it was frustrating for me at that town meeting when that was said, it's not residents. That was ridiculous. Number one, that was a blatant lie and wasn't even looked into for research.
Well, the other misleading thing that I saw at that town meeting as well was, you know, when they talked about the road study with the speeds, and when they talked about the one going 70 miles an hour. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that 70 mile an hour was early in the morning, not when pedestrians were on the road.
If the safety lane committee took the study that I did, which is broken down in days and hours, yes, because, and I don't know, Bill, I don't know where they got it, I guess I can ask you. Did they do their own independent study? Do you know?
That didn't have anything to do with the committee, I think that was the individual.
And the 71 miles per hour, because I know we did have one early in the morning, and it was an officer going to an emergency call on the Spalding or maybe Woodbury Ave.
Brandon, interested in your thoughts?
You know, I go just kind of piggyback off of what the chief said. I mean, I was in that role before. I mean, I can tell you the number of emails that I put out to the guys to, you know, try and be there between 2:45 and 3:15 down in the school zone, watching the school zone, sitting up by Lydia Lane in the mornings and afternoons. Like, I myself have been out there enforcing Nimble Hill just last week. And it was actually funny because you were on the phone with Edna when I stopped someone and she got all excited. So, I mean, I would agree, like, we're out there, like, it might not see it, and, you know, between 2 and 5, that is our busiest time. That's probably when we get 80% of the shoplifters, 80% of these suspicious person calls. I mean, we try and be on this side as much as we can, but that's probably when a good majority of our hands are tied over there dealing with those calls. So, I mean, we try and balance it the best we can, but
You got any thoughts?
If the push and the shove comes harder, as far as getting another officer to stay just on traffic detail through town, are we gonna have to explain real hard on the want? Is that bad to have another person? Are we gonna be able to have enough detail for being questioned for another, just one more officer just for detail in town?
Well, I think we can propose the aspect of doing it based on the wants of the residents. You know, if they want it, we're gonna give it to them. And it's easily explained based on our numbers, and we look at our stats and see where the officers are positioned half the time during the day. I mean, that's a big part of our job, to find out where the problems are and where we're gonna be. And we know it's commuter traffic, as explained by myself and Brandon, then we're getting calls over there, and we have 2 officers working the evening shift, and they're dealing with disorderly arrest over at JCPenney. Well, they're not gonna be here. And if we look at, I mean, the other option is that we do overtime for morning and then afternoon commutes with the officers. That's gonna eat up our overtime. But if that's what the public wants, and we can definitely provide it, but it's gonna come at a price. And whether it's another officer or adding to our overtime. This is not just Chief Bilodeau's problem. This has been going on in this town. I remember the signs that used to be posted all over the place, slow down in our neighborhood. And I don't wanna see those. It's frustrating. It's people not thinking or communicating with us of what they want and need. But they do call regarding directed patrols, and I know this summer, they're gonna want coverage on, Bean Lane in the marina. It's every year, in Fox Point. Last summer, I dedicated an officer, one of the part-time officers, to Fox Point. Residents want for the resources, I try to provide for them.
Fox Point for speeders or for,
Trespassers.
trespass?
It's a gated community down there without a gate.
So, I think the safety lane committee is gonna continue to exist. So that reflects, an ongoing concern. I think that's to be determined, but I know there's an effort to keep it alive. I was on the safety lane committee before, but I'm not wearing that hat now. I'm wearing my police commissioner hat. And the way I saw it, the issue for the town was there was a lot of things that came to bear this year with COVID. It was approved last year, but we did a revote and it went before the town meeting again. A lot of people I've talked to since the vote have been super disappointed and surprised at the outcome. But the way I saw it, strictly from my seat here on the police commission, was there were three factors that came into play. One was people that were concerned about the budgetary impact of the safety lane. That has nothing to do with us. The second was impact on the town environment. That has nothing to do with us either. And then the third was safety concerns. And to me, that's our core mission, and that's what we do here. So that's why I'm concerned. If there's people concerned about it, what can we do about it? Now, you basically cited a resource constraint, which is if you'd had an opportunity to talk, it would have been a good time to maybe get that out there, but, so I think that's something that we ought to explore further. And like you say, maybe the town doesn't have a stomach for it, especially at this time, and that's the way it's gonna have to be, but, I hear what you're saying, if you only have so many officers and you've got multiple missions and you gotta prioritize and all that, so, I hear what you're saying. Which leads me to my next thing, which kinda is under other business, which is, just as COVID hit last year, I was talking to you about, I felt the need to do a deeper dive into what goes on here in the department, for me personally, as the new guy. And I didn't get a chance to do that because of, the COVID restrictions. So I'd like to do that now. And what I mean by that deep dive is, I'd like an opportunity to come in for you guys to explain to me what your resources are, particularly personnel resources, how we use them, and then I'd have a better understanding of what you're talking about, and it also gives us, as a commission, a better understanding of if we wanna propose this, how can we defend it? And then, also look at the facilities and equipment side of it too. And if you guys wanna join me in that, I don't know if you want to or not, you've been here longer than I have, we can schedule that, or we can do it collectively or just for me. So,
I definitely think that's beneficial, obviously. You guys are the commission, so you have to know what's going on in the department. I think it would be beneficial to you, Bill, as well as, I don't think you know all the officers as well as these two do, based on them being around so many years and bringing their kids over, or grandkids, bringing their grandkids, or just, Jack being an icon in the town and getting involved. So I think that would be beneficial for you as well.
I agree. That's all I have to say on that. Again, I don't know where the perception came from and anything that I've done where I wasn't supporting the police. I think in all my comments, it was like the police were an integral part of this whole effort. And I still believe that the solution basically is not a physical alteration. It's really a law enforcement problem.
Well, I think there was a lot of falsehoods being stated, and it was frustrating. I will say there's a selectman that I still think should give me a public apology for his outburst in our commission meeting and pretty much calling me a liar. And then there was a resident here in town that is on the bike safety lane committee that was saying falsehoods about me, saying I wasn't in support of the bike lane, when I never said that. So that's the frustration, and my officers see that frustration, and if there's no backup from the commission regarding these falsehoods, then they're gonna make up their own minds, and I'm not gonna make it up for them, but I still stand to that. There were lies said about me regarding this. It's a safety lane, I get it, I have to have broad shoulders and I have to accept it, but not right when it's in public.
Well, and I agree with you, I think that's, the board of that selectman needs to apologize to you, I'm not sure you get it, but.
No, I don't think I will.
But
it just
And
ruins the working relationships.
it does, and a lot of things that were said at the town meeting, I just felt were falsities. And I think that was very frustrating.
We got hit hard at the town meeting regarding this bike lane.
I agree.
And thank goodness for Lori Arsenal that says she sees the police department on Nimble Hill, and she sees them in their neighborhood every day, and she thanked us for that work. So, I think there were a lot of things leading up to this not passing. And I think it was the footwork before that needs to be done beforehand for that bike path that was not done. I think it was just, at first it was a group that wanted this, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done beforehand and after. And I don't think the work was done. I think it would, if it was presented differently, it might be a better option, a better chance of getting it approved, but we took a hit, the PD took a hit on that. Can we just put that behind us now? For a little bit?
Bill, are you still gonna be kind of involved with it?
I don't know.
And
Decided.
the reason I'm asking that or saying that is, just like hiring another officer with some background that what it would cost, et cetera, if you're on the committee, you know, passing that.
Yeah.
So that they've got another avenue to put under their
Yeah.
folder and, you know, to look at.
Are we talking about a dedicated police officer for Nimble Road only? Because,
Wouldn't sound like you do.
Residential, I'm gonna say residential area, not just Nimble Hill, but, because, you know, I see them fly by the house, you see them everywhere.
I will say this. Don't think I'm proposing it right now, but if that's what the town wants. But what is going to happen is when the officer is doing directed patrol on Nimble Hill Road, and somebody wants an officer on Little Bay Road, he doesn't see that officer on Little Bay Road,
they're gonna complain.
so I can't put an officer, I mean, unless the taxpayers wanna pay for it, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, it would have to be,
You'd have to be an understanding.
You know, I
You don't wanna
didn't
be
mean to state
predictable
just
either.
Nimble Hill, I meant residential, you know.
No, I get it. It's just that if we're not seen in one place, then we're not doing our job.
Yeah, that's.
Anyone else on that? Non-public session, we have no reason to have a non-public session today.
There's only one thing to discuss with you, but I don't know if we're going to discuss it or if we're not
I can't remember.
Maybe between next month. If you can't remember.
It definitely won't change between now and next month. Something like that.
No.
Any other business?
just the website stuff. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, so I did not contact the town to take the stuff off their site, we've been swamped with other stuff, but I know our site is up to date, so I'm not really sure. Our website is, all the commission meeting minutes are in there.
Today's agenda, I couldn't find today's agenda.
Today's agenda is not on there, but all the commission meeting minutes are on there. We're doing our best.
So, that reflects, I think, poorly on all of us. The way it's set up. You click on boards and you get police commission website and that's all. That might as well be taken down.
From the town?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's on the town to do.
I know, but that's a mess. So you click on the police department and that town website is also a joke. And then you have to hunt around and you'll find that little tab in the corner that then directs you over to this department's website. And even that isn't really that robust.
I can ask Martha if she wants help with her website, but that's as far as it can go, otherwise that's they gotta figure out how they wanna structure their website better.
So I guess that's on us as a commission to start, that's really, I think it reflects poorly on us as, all of a sudden, there's a lot of people in town who are very concerned about transparency, recording the meetings, posting the agenda, posting the minutes and all that, and I don't wanna be, I want to be compliant with that, because
That's what I think all people forgot was posting the agenda. There's a lot of boxes to check in this training, and we're doing that.
so if the town can't keep up our sites, the commission site, and PD site, then my suggestion to them would be, don't put anything on it, and just put the link to your site, and let's keep ours here straight and problem solved.
I agree with that. No conflicting information. I just don't know who they use for a provider to edit their sites.
So we'll contact Martha and try to.
We can send an email and
Yeah, and if you need help with that, let me know, I'm happy to show up with Sledgehammer and this year.
we'll CC Eleanor in it, 'cause she's been pretty handy with the site too. And she uploaded all of our, where our meetings are and stuff, so. And the calendars.
Any other business? Next meeting, May 4th at 4 p.m. I make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Interested in tagging along with